Hey, what's up, YouTube? My name is Smokin' Joe, and I'm going to quickly and efficiently go through how I'm doing a projector by xenon LED projector light conversion into my Honda Superhawk. It's a 98 Superhawk. All the years are the same headlight. And this one happens to be off my B bike, which is my single-sided swing arm CBR 1000 front end bike, because I don't ride that much, and my other one I ride every day. So this is the headlight. Obviously I've already taken it apart a little bit, and I have one bi-xenon light in there already, but I just wanted to show a few details of how I did it. There are a bunch of videos on YouTube on getting this butyl caulk apart. And I gotta tell you, the only way that I found that seems reasonable is in the oven at 215 to 20 degrees for I think 10 to 15 minutes, and this comes apart. But I don't think it's worth trying to use a heat gun because you'd never get a uniform heat dissipation on the surface. So then I took out this was inside, this is a reflector. This is what would be adjusted when you adjust the beam on the standard headlight. There's normally, I don't have it with me, there's a halogen H4 bulb that goes in here and reflects. But that bulb is pitifully dim in the real world, so I took it out. So in the back, hopefully I can get a good picture of this. This is where the LED, the halogen would have gone in, and I just have it covered with the boot that normally comes with it. So that's just the cutout, right? That's where it would always be. That's gone. I also unthreaded this reflector and removed it. On the back of this is two adjusters that these are the nuts that are actually, they're threaded rods. Top left, bottom right, as you look at the back of the headlight. And if you just turn those, they actually unthread the reflector. On the back, I had to cut and trim. There's a bunch of little, you probably can't see it, but in order to make clearance room for these bi-xenon projector beams, I had to Dremel out. I used a Dremel with a grinding wheel and also an actual angle grinder to get in there, just to cut out some clearance space. So from the back, it looks like this. I'm trying to see, yeah, there we go. Maybe I can reflect light. So from the back right now, the wires are sticking out. There's already one of these bi-xenons threaded in. The way they work, it's like this whole thing is a light bulb. These are shrouds. I'll put links in the description as to where I got these. These are fan-cooled, fully self-contained, coil-on board cob lights with this projector lens. I don't know if I'll show you during this video, but they're insanely bright. They're like daylight, like what you would find on a luxury car. So they have power and ground coming off the back, as well as another power and ground. And what this does is it opens a shroud that turns it into a high beam. So these have an incredibly sharp cutoff. Maybe I'll make another video on that. So they don't blind oncoming drivers, but they light up the road like it's daylight. So I was going to use one of these, kind of the same way you would in a car application, but I decided, nope, if I'm in here this deep, I'm doing two. So this is the back of one of them. You can see this nut just threads on the back, and the light is just in like this. And the next one, I'm going to do the same thing. They come with these silicone, kind of a vibration resistant grommet, and half of it shaped like a cone a little bit, the other one's shaped flat on the back of it. So that just threads on over the wires and just pushes on like this. And then I already used a step drill to drill the hole in the back, which, yeah, right there, you can see it. The wire, the power wires, thread in. And really just get pulled through. There's a fan to cool this thing. I want that on the bottom. And I just push this in. And they give you a bunch of steel kind of spacers, but they're shaped as like H4, H3, H11s. For me, I think for this one, I'm just going to use the smallest possible one, if it even fits. I don't think I did not rehearse this before this particular video. Let's see if it fits. If not, I don't really care. These things, yeah, there we go. So I put a washer on to hold it in place, just to give it a little more footprint, a little more surface, just so it doesn't stress the plastic. But in all fairness, these lights are not that heavy, and this plastic on this housing is extremely strong. And now all I gotta do is thread, without the rubber in the way, thread the nut on. It's super simple. Make sure my fans are aiming straight down. I left a bunch of air vents in the housing itself so that air could be, I'm going to make sure, I'm going to put some fabric, some water resistant fabric, so that it breathes, but water cannot come in. Okay, so there it is, mounted. I'm going to come back later and show you, but this is what it's going to look like. It's going to look really cool. This is for the high beam, so that when you click on high beam, it sends power to the shutter, cut off, a little servo motor that opens that. And I place these in a way, through experimentation, that it will actually be really visible with the lens on. I can't really put the lens on because all the butyl caulk is in the way, and I'm going to have to get rid of that. But I wanted to show that that's what it's going to look like. And obviously there's going to be this rubber cap on the back. And I was going to put like a surround, but I really don't think I'm going to do that because it's so kind of dark in there. It doesn't really make a difference. But it does look really cool. And maybe I'll go grab some power right now, a little battery, show you what it looks like. Okay, so I'm just using as a power source a small motorcycle battery. It's kind of a half-size battery I use for my race bike. Okay, so I'm just using alligator clamps and a small battery to power this thing up. Just to give you an idea what we're going to deal with. The trick is you got to put the correct polarity. Obviously, LEDs are polarity specific. And I'm no YouTuber. I'm just a mechanical guy. Okay, so this is it. You can hear I don't know if you can hear the fans going, but this is the brightest thing kind of ever. But this is what it's going to look like. And here, what I'll do is, if I can do this without shorting out the alligator clips, I'm going to turn it around and let you just see what it looks like going down a dark hallway. And you can see that incredible cutoff line where it's super bright, but it's not gonna blind oncoming drivers. So yeah, this is, I don't know how many times brighter than a stock bulb it is, but maybe 15 to 20 times brighter. And like I said, I love the double headlight look, but still contained inside the stock Super Hawk housing. Okay. So that's this this entry into this. I'm going to rebuild this thing, butyl it back together. I bought some new butyl. I can put a link in the description as to where you can get that butyl on Amazon. I think it's like 15 bucks, maybe 10 or 15. I think these lights for the pair were like 85. And that's pretty much all you need besides some wiring. I'll wire it together so that it gets powered by the bike. You don't need the reflector. Maybe I'll sell that on eBay. I don't know if anyone needs one. And yeah, that's my description. And I'm going to have to heat up the butyl to get the old butyl out, and then put some new stuff in, clip this back together, and then that's pretty much it. I'll probably connect it to an H4 socket so that it plugs right into the stock wiring. I do, however, have the Eastern Beaver wiring that sends 2 high amp wires directly from the battery to the headlight, and it works on a relay. I highly recommend that. It brightens up even a stock headlight, but it's not really necessary in the sense that the wires coming off of these projector beams are actually pretty thin because it's just not a high resistance situation. Anyway, that's what we got for this entry, and I will show you more later.